So when the going gets tough, maybe you could blame Obama. It seems to be that is one of the tactics being tied by President Trump. He has used it in the past, of course. Now, because Jeffrey Epstein, a story that shows, frankly, undeniable staying power, is still with us, the president appears to be pulling a familiar page from that playbook, looking to deflect and distract.
After what they did to me, and whether it's right or wrong, it's time to go after people. The leader of the gang was President Obama. Barack Hussein Obama, have you heard of him? He's guilty. It's not a question. I like to say, let's give it time. It's there. He's guilty. This was treason.
The group chat is back with us. I want to pull my colleague Stephen Collinson, who always has brilliant analysis for us overnight, writes, the Justice Department and the head of the U.S. intelligence community are now openly operating as fully weaponized tools to pursue the president's personal political needs in a degradation of a governing system meant to be an antidote to king-like patronage. Could they, Alyse, actually go after the former president despite the lack of actual evidence here?
Could they go after him in an open investigation and cause a distraction? Yes. Will anything actually happen to Barack Obama? No, because these allegations are absolutely absurd. Treason is a real crime, actually defined in the Constitution, which requires one either levy war against the government or adhere to one's enemy by giving them aid and comfort, which means attempting to overthrow the government or actually materially aiding an enemy. None of that happened. This is all based on this 2016 election claims, which has been investigated time and time and time again. There is simply no evidence that Barack Obama committed treason. And as the teaser just stated, this is a Hail Mary attempt at diverting attention from the Epstein files. And I think it's ultimately going to fail once again, because this is what happens when people care about actual facts and the truth. And the MAGA right wants the truth out of the Epstein files.
So you have the former president speaking out, releasing a statement through his office, and I'm paraphrasing part of it here, but basically saying, I don't normally comment on things like this, but now I'm going to, and going on to say the claims are outrageous and the bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction. Is that statement in the moment, could it have been more forceful?
No, I think it was enough. I mean, what's really bizarre about this whole situation, the current president is saying, we have to move on from the Epstein story because it's old, but now we keep obsessing about the 2016 election. And we know what the report said at the time, that the Russians did, in fact, meddle. They didn't mess with any tallies. They didn't affect the outcome. And that's what the Senate Intelligence Committee told us. And I think Marco Rubio was part of that report. So this is, again, it's a wild distraction just away from the Epstein story. So I don't think there's much here. I agree with you. I don't think that President Obama has much to worry about. But I think this is just flailing around.
I'll let you weigh in.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is silly to reopen this now almost decade-old story. I'm unfamiliar with there being a great deal of new information. It does feed into Donald Trump's belief that there is a sort of deep state against him, and part of what's made this Epstein story so sticky is that this is one where now the tables have been turned, and it feels like Donald Trump has put himself in the I am the deep state position.
And here we are. Hey, let's turn a page here and talk about what's in your group chats. I know part of your group chat is Epstein, actually, because we learned that earlier. Sure. But in the other group chats that do not involve the Epstein story.
All right, my show Today Explained is doing an episode about crashing out. Do you guys know what that is? It's when you have an emotional meltdown, usually on camera, on TikTok. You just lose it. You cry and you curse. Huda from Love Island, Hunter Biden, arguably, a couple days ago. So what we're looking at is crashing out just a Gen Z thing? It's not. Pro tip. And why is it happening?
Is it just a Gen Z thing on camera, though?
I mean, they're very good on camera. We know that, right?
Yeah. Maybe the rest of us just crash out in the privacy and the in the safe space of our own home. What's in your group chat?
Okay, we're still obsessed with the Coldplay kiss cam. Oh. That for us is the story that won't die. Okay. Because the news cycle is fast, but we still want to know what happened. We're waiting for the internal investigation, we're members of the board, essentially. Is the HR rep, is she gonna get fired? Why were they canoodling? Who paid for this concert? There's still so many unanswered questions. I guess you could say it's our Epstein files.
Yeah.
So even though it looks like the media's moved on, we have not. We're on X all the time.
So your investigation is ongoing, and we look forward to the full report. So you're going to bring it to us. I'm not sure what you're investigating in your group chat.
Well, let me first say, if I'm going to cry or crash, I'm not going to do it in front of you guys. certainly not going to do it on social
You're not
media.
gonna put it on TikTok?
No, but my group chat is pretty boring. We're kind of talking about, looks like there's going to a good high probability of a government shutdown, given where the appropriations process is right now. Hope I'm wrong, but that's
I
what
hope
we're
you're wrong
talking about.
too, but yes, we may be swiftly moving toward that. All right, we're saving the best for last. No pressure.
So I think that the AI revolution that is coming is something that most people have not fully wrapped their heads around about how much of an effect it's going to have in our lives. We have stories now about kids who are using ChatGPT to cheat in school, et cetera, but it is really going to completely transform the way we live. And that is why you are seeing some of these companies now give like star athlete style contracts to individual AI engineers to come join some of these big tech companies, because in the race to be first in AI, the thing that is going to dominate the next decade of our lives at least, these companies all want to be the one that gets it first and best.
All right, we'll be watching all good group chats. Feel free to add me anytime, you guys. Nice to have all of you with us this morning.